Hi guys, Buck WSR Weezer here, putting the do into do-it-yourself. And I got an MTD mower here with a Honda engine. And it starts up fine and runs okay for a couple of minutes. But when it heats up, when it warms up, it starts surging like crazy, runs poorly, and it's really intolerable. Our job today is to figure out how to fix it. It just does that surging and hunting constantly. And I want to talk to you about why it's doing that. And it's related to fuel flow through the carburetor. I want to take down the air cleaner and just show you. You know, when we start this guy up cold, it runs fine for a few minutes. It's equipped with an automatic choke, and you may not be able to see it, but in there's a choke plate. That when the engine's cold, that's in the closed position. But as it warms up, that plate opens, and it's completely open now, as is proper. That's what it's supposed to be. But when it opens, we get full airflow through the carburetor, but we're not getting enough fuel flow up from through the main jet of the carburetor. So it's running. Yeah, they're not happy about it either. Yeah, it's running too lean, getting more air and not enough fuel, and that's why it surges and hunts and goes up and down intolerably. What we're going to do today is try to clean out that carburetor and main jet and hope we can get some better fuel flow through that carburetor. We'll put it up on the workbench and take it down and clean it out. The fuel has just gummed it up. And happens a lot. So let's see if we can fix it. So first thing, we're going to shut off the fuel flow with this valve. It's fortunate to have a shut-off valve there. Open up the air cleaner assembly and remove the cover and the filter. Now we got these two 10mm bolts that hold it all up in place. So these guys have to come out. I carry around this 10mm nut driver, just never use it very much. Let's use it now. So on these bolts, it holds up the carburetor, the air cleaner assembly, the variety of gaskets and spacers. And it's not a big deal taking it off, it's just getting it back on that is sometimes the challenge. Because the cover obstructs your ability to make connections and stuff. So stuff's starting to fall. Those bolts come down. All right, so this cover, connected to this cover is the breather tube from the crankcase. So you can unplug that, move him out of the way. So you see the carburetor's all ready falling down. Here's the gasket from the front, then the carburetor. Then this big gasket, the choke mechanism here. Hopefully it won't be too bad putting it back up. This gasket is still up there, and we'll just leave him on there to make our lives a little easier. Give you a little closer view of what we're doing here. We have to disconnect the fuel line, and then this linkage at the top of the throttle plate, and then the carburetor's off. So not too bad. I guess I gotta get some pliers to take that off. There we go. We may get a little spillage, so I got a rag. Fuel line comes off. And I do the linkages last because you got to be able to twist the carburetor side to side and all to get those linkages off. So there's the thin wire. It's pretty easy to get off. And then this guy. All right, not too bad. So there's the carburetor. He's completely off. And we're going to clean him off on the outside and then take him apart and do a thorough cleaning on the inside. So there's still fuel in this bowl. So now we can take off this bowl with a 10mm wrench or ratchet or whatever you got. And we should get some gas coming out the bottom here. That's why I got my rag. So don't lose that bolt there. And bowl looks clean. I don't see any residue or gunk in there. But up through there is the main jet, and that's what we want to try to get out with a small screwdriver, hopefully, and be able to clean that out thoroughly. Well, cleaning out this carburetor is never it's never an easy thing to film or show, but I'm going to give you my best shot at it. I'm going to remove the float by pulling out this pin. So here's the float with the needle. Just move that aside. Now if you can see down into through here, you probably can't. There's the main jet that can come out with a screwdriver. And sometimes those are stuck and really hard to get out. Also, finding the right size screwdriver that actually fit down in there can be a challenge. I think I got it. So you get the jet here and the tube, and these are what we want to thoroughly clean. They're fine passageways through which fuel has to flow. We want to try to clean those out as best we can. In addition, we just want to use some carburetor cleaner and clean out all the spots on here, all the crevices, nooks, crannies, all the different places where we can thoroughly clean this out. But the main things that we want to make sure get degummed are these. So with a variety of fine brushes and picks and wires, we try to clean these out as thoroughly as we can to wash away and clean off any fuel residue or gum or varnish that builds up in those things over time. Another thing we want to clean out is we want to remove this Phillips head screw. That guy was really tight to loosen, but I got it. And we want to clean out that low-speed jet through here with some carburetor spray. I put the tip of the needle through these small holes to make sure they're not obstructed. All the way around. Some of them are very small. Well, all of them are. Some are bigger than others, but I got some fine brushes we can use to clean out in there. You know, they're just very fine passages, so if they get slightly gummed up, you know, slightly gummed up is significant when you're talking about passages that are this small to begin with. with the carb spray and small tools and brushes and do our best to clean it as best we can, and then we'll be ready to put it back together, see if we made any progress. All right, let's try to get this carburetor back up and keep our fingers crossed that it's going to work. Now I've laid out the parts in the order in which they have to go up here. Air cleaner, gasket, carburetor, gasket, choke mechanism, of course the 2 bolts. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the carburetor itself right here. I'm going to do the linkages first, then the fuel line. Then we'll be able to get the other pieces on there. So this guy in here like that, linkages first. Then this spring on the other hole. Okay. Fuel line. Then moving this clamp down. All right. He's on there. All right, so that's good. So this guy and the 2 bolts. And then this gasket, which is going to go right up there. So let's put it right on the screws here. And we're going to start pushing the we're going to start putting the screws through the carburetor itself. And now we've got to slip this gasket and choke mechanism on behind it. And then it all goes up. Guess what? I forgot the breather hose. It's a bit of a jigsaw puzzle. So let's try that again. I think our bolts are started. Tighten these just a little bit. Don't have to go nuts. All right, she's back on. Choke plate is closed as it should be because the engine's cold, so the choke mechanism is doing okay. We're going to put our air cover on here, an air filter. Turn our fuel on. We'll verify there's no visible leaks from underneath. And then take it down and give it a shot. Try it out. Well guys, it's fully warmed up now. I verified that the choke plate is indeed fully open and you can see it's running a lot smoother. So I think we fixed this surging problem and we're ready to put this guy back in service. I hope that's of help to you on how to solve your surging lawnmower. Even if it's not a Honda, if it's a Briggs & Stratton or whatever other brand, it's fuel flow through the carburetor jet that is the main issue when it's surging like that. So, feel good about having that resolved. Thanks for watching, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye-bye.